A full costume over the weekend for Chicago's C2E2 Expo.
But there was one duo that stood out from the rest. Aaron is here with that story.
Yeah, it's a neat story, and it was about a lot more than just the costumes and that comic expo. It was about this relationship, this bond between a young man and his caregiver.
It was roughly 2 years ago. Matt was hired to help care for AJ. The job description was pretty straightforward.
Going out and having fun is the job, and so they give me a real free reign to just come up with fresh ideas.
Matt's approach?
Just treat him like a normal person.
The duo goes to movies, explores downtown, and never misses their favorite show, Game of Thrones. The fun happens weekly with no regard for weather, which is when Matt realized some odd parallels between them and their favorite show.
I was thinking I might have to carry him to the movies if, the snow is really bad. And I realized, I was like, wow, that's kind of like Hodor. Like, I'd carry him like Hodor carries Bran. And then I realized how uncanny, like the uncanny resemblance.
And that's about when AJ's living room morphed into a full-blown costume-making shop.
A couple holes in this and have the wheels set up like that, so it'll look more like a wooden cart. We sat down and just kind of brainstormed ideas. We made some drawings, and we were looking at a lot of pictures.
It took weeks, but by the time they were finished, Matt and AJ knew they had nailed the Game of Thrones characters, Hodor and Bran.
All right, here we go. You ready? Now's the time.
Just in time for the C2E2 Expo.
You doing all right there, buddy? Woo!
A place where you could be anything you want.
Look at this parade.
What do you think of that?
There you go, AJ. You're not going to see that every day.
And being stared at is a compliment.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Take care.
That guy's the truth. That's my absolute favorite right there.
I think it's amazing. I love the creativity.
Got to keep looking good because we got so many people taking pictures.
To see this connection between Matt and him, a special one.
It's really been cool to bring AJ to this and actually have him be a part of this.
I think it's so important in a young person's life to be able to have that and not to have obstacles, but to see the potential.
And everybody's been stopping us, taking pictures.
I immediately loved it because I think it's a costume that it's hard to pull off, and I think you guys do it amazingly.
Nice.
Yeah, we just kind of came up with this whole thing all on our own.
Very cool.
The reaction's been really amazing. Like right now, we've barely been able to move.
The Bran cosplay, that's amazing.
Yep. Oh, sure.
A day where something bigger is at play than AJ's cerebral palsy.
Awesome. I love Game of Thrones.
A day where everyone only sees two friends with the best costumes in town.
Everything to me. He really inspires me to do what I do, and so being able to provide him with all this fun stuff to do is just the greatest thing for me. That's really what I love the most about this job. So I really like just giving him the ability to just kind of go out on his own, and I think that's what his parents really like me to provide for him. So we went the year before to C2E2, but we didn't dress up or anything, and that was a lot of fun. We were taking pictures with all the different, with all the other cosplayers, and looking at all kinds of different stuff, and we were getting T-shirts, and he always gets the jacket each year. There's an official jacket that he gets, and so we were just doing collectibles and stuff like that, because we were both into like a lot of the same things, and so we had been going to see all the superhero movies and all the different cartoons. Lately, we've been seeing like different anniversary movies, so we've been seeing older movies in the theater, and like we saw The Little Mermaid and The Matrix, and all those are like 20 and 30-year anniversaries. And so I really liked, just involving him in those things that he likes on a grander scale. And so when the next week came around, I kind of had an inkling that we were going to try to do some cosplay, but it wasn't until the winter came and the weather was really bad, and we had some really good movies to go to, but with the bad weather, sometimes we can't go out because we can't even get the wheelchair through the snow. And so I was gonna tell his mom that I would carry him to the movie theater on my back if I had to. And so that actually reminded me of what Hodor and Bran do in Game of Thrones. And like it just really hit me like a ton of bricks, and I couldn't wait to get to work the day that I had, because it was like over the weekend. I wasn't even with him when I came up with the idea, and so it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was just so excited to get to work because I knew they would be super excited about it too. And then I proposed the idea, and his mom Evelyn was just immediately all about it. Yeah, Frank and Julia are really unique in that they started their business to help people as well, and so that was just an immediate factor for me as far as wanting to help them do that, because even though they weren't specifically caregivers and they had some their parents were aging, and so they kind of saw like the robotic nature of the industry. And so when I met with them and they were excited to have somebody that had been a caregiver for a long time, and they weren't going to have to train me, and I was like ready to go. And then they told me what they were all about. It was just a really great fit, and so I think that's one of the things that people need to want to do, as a caregiver, is that we're doing this to make people happy. And they have always been able to fit my schedule pretty well. Really, just getting the full-time hours has been the key. There was just 2 solid years where I had 3 clients, and so I never had to worry about getting more hours. And the drop-off is never bad. They would always transition me into new clients, and then it's always fun getting new clients as well. Okay, so my primary reason for getting into caregiving was I really wanted to help people, and I started out pretty young as learning that objective as a Boy Scout, and so I was in Cub Scouts and I was in Boy Scouts, and my dad was a teacher, and so he showed me early on that that it was definitely fun to help people, and I would help him out sometimes in his class. And then when I got into the Boy Scouts, I was doing a lot of volunteering, so I had thousands of hours helping in various ways, working at a group home for developmentally disabled people, and I was off to the races there.